January 19th, 2024. 402 Bitcoin move into a bridge for the first time in 5 months. Within days, the FBI drops a shutter across that transfer. 277 never reached the far side. It took a phone call. The company running the bridge picked up. 125 Bitcoin were already through. Those are gone. The coin had been sitting still since the previous September. That was when a casino company paid roughly $15 million to make a problem disappear. That figure comes from the firm that later traced the money for the FBI. $15 million is a lot to hide. Hiding it took almost no work at all. Bitcoin sits in a wallet. A wallet is just a number. Nobody can take a number away from you. The difficulty starts when you try to spend it. Spending it means touching something that has a name, an address, and a compliance department. I spent years watching money attempt that crossing, and the pattern almost never changes. The theft is fast and the laundering is patient. Then somebody has to turn the proceeds into something they can actually use. The moment they reach for that, they hand an investigator a rope. This is the anatomy of that crossing. A ransom paid, a ransom moved, and just over 2/3 of that transfer frozen on the way out. And then, across the same market and 2 continents, 3 people the ordinary world introduced to an investigator. One of them was found because he ordered dinner. I will get to the other 2. In the late summer of 2023, 2 of the largest casino operators in the United States were breached within weeks of each other. Caesars Entertainment was hit on the 18th of August and told the SEC about it in a filing dated the 14th of September. The company described the whole thing in a single clause, and that clause is worth hearing exactly as written. A social engineering attack on an outsourced IT support vendor used by the company. Read that again, because everything downstream comes from it. Somebody phoned a help desk, and the help desk helped. On the 12th of September, before that filing was even public, MGM Resorts International shut its own systems off. Rooms would not open on digital keys. Slot floors went quiet. Staff tallied wins and losses by hand. Company email went down so completely that MGM sent a statement to the press from a Gmail address. MGM's chief executive later described it in 6 words. "We were completely in the dark." The rest of that quote is worth having too. The telephones, the casino system, the hotel system, the key system, 36,000 rooms run on paper. MGM made the other choice about paying. What that cost and what it did not cost comes later. Now, an honest caveat, because this channel does not launder a claim into a fact. The group behind these attacks is generally identified as Scattered Spider, tracked elsewhere as UNC 3944 and as Octo Tempest. You should know that the FBI and CESA advisory on that group never names Caesars, not once. It mentions MGM only inside a footnote, citing somebody else's blog post. No United States indictment names either casino. That attribution comes from reporting and from private threat intelligence work. It does not come from a court. What is in a court is the money, and that turns out to be the better story anyway. There is a version of this case you have already heard, and it is the version about a 10-minute phone call. Let me deal with it and set it aside. That detail traces to one social media post from a malware archive account. It was published after midnight on the 13th of September, 2023. It cited no source at all. The ransomware crew published its own statement the following day. It said it had not spoken to any journalist, any news organization, or any user on that platform. Both of those cannot be true. What survives is only what MGM's chief executive confirmed. The technical support layer got engineered. No duration, no script, no 10 minutes. The $100 million needs the same treatment. MGM did disclose approximately that figure. But the filing says it was an impact to Adjusted Property EBITDAR for September for 2 segments. Preliminary at that. Its own finance chief explained on the earnings call what most of it actually was: canceled hotel rooms and service recovery. The company's disclosed cash costs were under $10 million, and it told investors the incident would not be material to the year. To understand why $15 million behaves the way it does after a ransom, you first have to understand who was owed what. 30 million was the demand. 15 million was the settlement. Even extortion has a negotiating position. Scattered Spider did not build ransomware. In mid-2023, according to Microsoft's threat intelligence team, the group became an affiliate of an operation called ALF-V, also known as Black Cat. Ransomware as a service. The distinction matters more than it sounds. One party builds and maintains the encryption software and the leak site. Another party does the intrusion. When a victim pays, the two split it. Microsoft flagged something genuinely unusual about this pairing. Historically, the Eastern European ransomware operations would not do business with native English speakers at all. That barrier came down, and what came through it was a set of young English speakers who were very good at talking to help desks. The affiliate typically kept between 60 and 90%. Sit with that split because it defines the whole case. The operator gets paid in a currency it already knows how to move through infrastructure it has run for years. The affiliate gets the larger share, and with it the cash-out problem. It also means the affiliate has to trust the operator to pay out at all. Hold that thought. It costs somebody $22 million before this is over. Now the typology. In transaction monitoring, you learn 3 stages: placement, layering, integration. Placement is getting criminal proceeds into the financial system. Layering is moving them enough times that the trail degrades. Integration is the stage everybody forgets. It is turning the proceeds into something ordinary, like a car or a house or groceries. Crypto changes the difficulty of each stage, but it does not change the order, and it does not remove the last one. Placement for a ransom is trivial. The victim sends the coin, and it is already in. Layering is where the work goes. Chainalysis, the firm that traced this money for the FBI, describes what came next in plain terms. The payment arrived in 2 extortion wallets. It was consolidated. Then it was pushed out through freshly created wallets carrying no prior transaction history at all. A wallet with no history has nothing to correlate against. That is the point of it, and it is also the problem with it. Because a thing with no past has nowhere to hide either. And then nothing. For 5 months, nothing. The 5 months of stillness get read as discipline. From my side of the glass, they look like a stalemate the crew was always going to lose. Blockchain analysis works by clustering. Investigators watch a wallet, watch what it touches, and build outward from anything with a name attached. A dormant wallet gives investigators nothing new to build on. So the investigators wait, and they keep the file open. The file does not get tired. Coin that never moves also never buys anything. 5 months of stillness bought them nothing but a later bill. Which brings us to integration. 402 Bitcoin do not buy anything. To spend them, the crew had to reach a place where crypto becomes usable, an exchange or a bridge, or a service that turns one asset into another. Every one of those places is a company. Companies have compliance officers and telephone numbers. That is the crossing, and on the 19th of January, 2024, they made it. Roughly 402 Bitcoin were sent to a wallet belonging to the Avalanche Bridge, around $11.8 million at the time. A bridge moves value between 2 separate blockchains, and in practical terms, it is a conversion counter. An asset goes in on one chain, and its equivalent comes out on another. It is legitimate, widely used financial plumbing. It is also exactly the kind of infrastructure that makes tracing harder, because the asset changes form partway through. It is also operated by an identifiable company, Ava Labs, a corporation. Reachable. The FBI, working with tracing tools from Chainalysis, had been mapping this money the whole time. 5 dormant months is a long stare, but the ledger does not expire and it does not look away. When the 402 Bitcoin moved, the move was visible immediately, visible to anyone watching. That is the property of a public ledger that criminals keep filing under advantages. And then the least technical step in this entire case happened. Somebody at the FBI looked up who operated the bridge. They found a company registered in the United States, with a compliance function and a phone number. They contacted them, a request from one American company to another that the recipient was in a position to grant. Ava Labs froze the coin where it sat, 277.56 Bitcoin. 125 Bitcoin had already crossed, a little under a third of the transfer. As far as the public record shows, it has never been recovered. That gap is the entire case in one line. The difference between the coin that got away and the coin that did not was not skill, and it was not cryptography. It was how fast somebody picked up a phone. 2 weeks later, there was a second, smaller crossing. Around $690,000 surfaced at a cryptocurrency exchange called Gate.io, rough $519,000 of it in stable coins. The rest was about 1,100 coins of Monero. Monero deserves a note because it is genuinely different. It is built specifically to obscure sender, receiver, and amount, and on paper it is the correct answer to everything I have just described. On the 4th of February, 2024, the exchange froze the whole holding anyway. Monero's privacy held perfectly. It stopped mattering the moment the coin was parked somewhere with a corporate address. One honest note on the paperwork. The civil forfeiture filing in the District of Nevada does not name Caesars. It calls the victim simply Victim A. The identification comes from Chainalysis and from a Clark County prosecutor speaking in open court. I am telling you where each part of this comes from. A court document and a press report are not the same thing. I am not going to pretend otherwise. Freezing money is not the same as finding people. The money was frozen in early 2024. Identifying the human beings took a different kind of work. It produced 3 separate answers, and then, in Britain, a 4th kind of ending. The first. In September 2025, prosecutors in New Jersey charged a young British man named Thala Jubair. The charges covered roughly 120 intrusions. At least 47 of the victims were in the United States, and they had paid more than $115 million. According to that complaint, agents seized a server he had been using. On it was a cryptocurrency wallet holding proceeds. That wallet had been used to buy gift cards. One of those gift cards, prosecutors say, was spent at a food delivery service. The food went to his apartment. Another funded online gaming accounts registered in his own name. Those allegations have not been tested at trial, but that is integration. That is the last stage, the one nobody plans for, doing exactly what it always does. The money had to become dinner eventually, and dinner has an address. The second answer belongs to Tyler Buchanan. Investigators subpoenaed a domain registrar, Namecheap, for records on the account that had registered a set of look-alike login pages. Those records showed something very ordinary. Less than a month before the campaign began, that account had logged in from a residential broadband connection in the United Kingdom. Scottish police confirmed the dates that line was leased, and to whom. A phishing page can be anonymous. The internet connection you registered it from is on a bill. More than 20 devices were seized at his home. Some carried employee credentials for targeted companies. Some carried cryptocurrency seed phrases. The master keys to the wallets themselves, written down, sitting on a hard drive on a desk. The third answer is the newest, and it should bother anyone who believes a virtual private network is a disguise. In July 2026, a 19-year-old dual American and Estonian citizen was extradited to the United States after Finnish authorities arrested him on an Interpol notice. Prosecutors allege an $8 million ransom demand against a jewelry retailer and a loss of at least $2 million. He has not been convicted. I will not name him, and every word of that is an allegation. But the reported mechanism is worth understanding. According to that reporting, the identification came from an identifier the operating system generates on the machine itself, a device-level value sitting underneath the encrypted connection rather than inside it. The VPN hid where the traffic went. The computer was still signing its own name, and in Britain, the last thread closed hardest of all. The National Crime Agency and City of London police identified Jubair and a second man, Owen Flowers. The two had been inside transport for London's network between the 31st of August and the 3rd of September, 2024. They were arrested at home on the 16th of September. Flowers was found in possession of devices containing screenshots and videos documenting the attack. He had been recording it. Here is what it came to. One name predates the casinos entirely. Noah Urban pleaded guilty in April 2025 and was sentenced that August in the Middle District of Florida. 10 years, $13 million in restitution, and roughly $4.8 million forfeited. Prosecutors counted at least 59 victims. His method predates all of the casino work, and it is worth a line. He took over other people's phone numbers. He talked their carriers into moving a number onto a handset he controlled. Every security code the bank sent then arrived on his desk instead of theirs, and emptying the account afterwards took no skill at all. Tyler Buchanan pleaded guilty in April 2026 and is due to be sentenced on the 21st of August. Spanish authorities had already seized around $27 million. In Britain, Joubert and Flowers were tried at Woolwich Crown Court. Their trial opened on the 22nd of June, 2026. On the first morning, both changed their pleas to guilty. On the 16th of July, they were each sentenced to 5 years and 6 months. Transport for London's reported cost of loss and recovery was £29 million. The operation they had been renting from did not survive either. In December 2023, the Justice Department disrupted ALF V. It released a decryption tool to more than 500 victims. By its own estimate, that denied around $68 million in demands. But what finished ALF V was greed, and it was their own. In March 2024, a $22 million payment arrived. The victim was an American healthcare giant, and its chief executive later confirmed that figure under oath in front of the United States Senate. Krebs on Security and Bleeping Computer both reported what happened next. ALF V's operators took the money and cut out the affiliate who had earned it. They posted a fake law enforcement seizure notice on their own leak site and vanished. A ransomware as a service operation, ransomed by itself. The affiliates did not stop though. They rented from somebody else. The FBI and CISA reissued their advisory on this group in July 2025, with more agencies signed onto it. By then the group had new tooling and a different ransomware family entirely. The encryption was replaceable. The people who could talk their way past a help desk were the scarce part. That is the shape of this market, and it is worth naming plainly. The software is a commodity, the intrusion is a skill, and the cash out is the bottleneck nobody has solved. And I want to be honest about the loose ends, because there are real ones. 125 Bitcoin from the casino payment crossed before the freeze and stayed gone. No public wallet address has ever been released for that money, or for the 22 million. Nobody has been charged in a United States court with attacking either casino by name. MGM, for its part, never paid the ransom. Its chief executive said so plainly, and said it without triumph. We did not pay ransom. Not that that's the defining moment in one of these things. The company later settled civil litigation covering this incident, and an earlier one for $45 million, and that was paid by its insurance carriers. What this case teaches about detection is not complicated, and it is not about cryptography. Every stage of this scheme worked. The intrusion worked, the extortion worked, and the layering was patient and competent. For 5 months, it was genuinely difficult to touch, and then it had to reach for something: a bridge, an exchange, a registrar, a gift card, a plate of food. Every one of those is the ordinary world, where things have names and companies answer the phone. The ledger was public from the first block, and it caught nobody. What caught them was a broadband bill, a delivery address, and a device that quietly knew what it was. Follow the cash out, and the cash out will introduce you. If this was worth your time, hit like and subscribe for the next case file. It helps the next one find the people who like watching this get taken apart. Case closed. Follow the money. Mini Whaley completed.